Okay, so now that we've analyzed our object and broken down the shapes that we see, now we can start to place them onto our paper. So what I'm going to do is walk you through my thought process, and I'm going to model for you how I would start to draw my stuffed animal. Now, if you don't have a stuffed animal, again, you can use the picture for reference. What I would say is you should be following along with the picture and not necessarily with my drawing, because it's not going to help you if you're just following along with the shapes that I'm drawing. I want you to really think about what shapes you see in your image, in your object, okay? So I'm gonna start, like I said, with the foot. And so we determine that the foot is sort of an oval. And so I'm going to start with an oval shape right here. Now, I'm going to look at the second foot. So if I'm really analyzing it, really looking at it closely, to me, in my opinion, it looks like a fatter circle than, it looks more like a rounded circle than the oval that we just drew. Not only that, but you can notice the foot kind of starts around right about here on our picture, or from my observation. So what I just did was compared the first shape that I put down to my next shape and tried to match where it was. And so therefore I can then go and put it in what I think is a more accurate place. I'm going to go in and I'm going to overlap it just a little bit because I see that it's a little bit overlapped. So I'll go ahead and do that. I'm not going to worry about erasing this yet because I do want to see all of my shapes come together, and then I want to be able to erase and move things around. So next is this leg I'm going to do right in the front. And so to me, it looks like a cylinder almost. So that's what I'm going to draw, is a cylinder. So the cylinder starts right about here. And so I'm going to go ahead and make that line. Now at the top here, it kind of looks more flat. So I'm just going to give it sort of a flat top and round it. This is not a cylinder, but I did describe it to myself so that way I could put it on paper. And we talked about the left brain and the right brain. Well, the left brain is our communication. It's our way of sending, it's our way of talking, texting, all of those things. And we use it much more than we use our right side of our brain because we're communicating much more. If you're communicating to yourself, if you're talking to yourself, it's going to make your life and your observational skills a lot easier because you're using that brain that's already really dominating your whole brain and really strong. So that's why I'm talking you through what I did or what I'm doing. So next I'm going to go ahead and draw the stomach, and the stomach to me looks like a square on top of another square to me. So I'm going to start right about here. And you could use even more basic shapes. Just say this is the square if you wanted to. So I'm going to go ahead and this is kind of diagonal. Okay, so there's that shape. And then I'm going to go over to this back foot and just connect it because I see that it's pretty connected there. The next shape I see is this, the face, the mouth, and the nose, that whole entire area. So I'm just going to draw one giant circle for that to represent that, because I can go back and add my nose later on. So I'm just eyeballing this. I'm eyeballing all of my shapes, but you can also remember, take your pencil and use it as a measuring tool. And so after that, the back of the head kind of looks like a letter C, and it sort of starts right about here to me. And so big letter C, and it sort of stops right about here. Now next, I'm going to do the arm. And if you look at the arm, it doesn't really look like any type of shape that I might use that has a name. So like we talked about geometric and organic shapes. So a geometric shape has a name and it's usually used in math, and organic shapes are more natural. To me, this looks like a pear almost. And so, like the fruit. And so I might draw, because I know what a pear looks like, the symbol for a pear, I can actually go ahead and draw that on my paper or something that looks really similar to it. And so that's kind of that shape that I have right there. And then there's a little bit more of a back to this stuffed animal. So I'm going to connect that in the back there. I do also have an ear right here, which is a half circle. And notice I'm not erasing anything. I'm not erasing any of my lines yet. Do get out of the habit of erasing everything, because you can go back later and erase any shapes that you are not using. So this last little bit right in between the stomach and this arm, I'm just going to sort of connect all of that together. And then my last shape is over here, and it's the arm. It's just like a diagonal line that curves in, okay? So this is a foundation for a whole drawing. So you broke down everything into shapes. And so shapes are the first things that you need in order to create a whole drawing. Then you can go back and add your contour, your outline, you can add inside pieces, and then you can add that texture and value, which is what we'll be doing in the next couple of lessons.